Hey, what's up guys? It's Matt from AverageDudeTV here. I just got home from work. On my drive home, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to make a video about. I have a couple ideas I've been throwing back and forth. And I decided I wanted to make a video about my college experience and my plans moving forward and such. But what kept crossing my mind in the car wasn't really about what idea I was going to talk about. It was, what information should I omit from my story? What information makes me look bad? What information are people gonna shit on me for? And I already know what the answer is. Don't leave out anything. Cause who gives a fuck? You know, by telling the actual truth, by telling the actual story, and not giving a shit about what people think of me, and actually being straightforward and honest about my experiences and my mistakes and my shortcomings, that's how other people are gonna learn, and that's how I learn. I'm not gonna leave out anything, to be honest, cause what's the fucking point? Then it's just fake. Then it's just bullshit. And that's not what we're about. We're about just being straightforward, saying it straight up, owning it, and just moving on. So I graduated high school June of 2015, and I decided that I was going to attend Baruch College in Manhattan. It's a pretty good business school. It's a public school, City University of New York. I looked at a bunch of other schools, went and visited other state schools. I committed to Baruch College before I even visited it. The school doesn't have a campus, barely has any dorms, 300 student dorms. It's a commuter school. So you're asking yourself, Matt, why? One, why would you do that? And two, why'd you commit without visiting it? Great question. Basically, my ex-girlfriend decided to attend another school that was in New York at the time. And I was just a moron, man. I was just an idiot. I didn't listen to what anybody else told me, what my parents told me, what my friends told me, what my family told me. And they all told me the same thing. Don't go to that school. Go to a campus school. Go to a school that's more social. Go to a campus that has more school spirit. And I didn't listen to them. I closed them out when I was visiting other colleges and universities. I was very closed-minded. Very closed-minded. I was completely closed-minded. I was shut down, you could even say. I didn't want to hear it. My mind was already up. I was going to commit to this school before I even visited the few buildings that made the school up, before I visited the dorms, before I really did anything. I did this obviously because I wanted to stay close to ex-girlfriend. This is the part I was debating if I should leave in or not. And fuck it, I'm gonna leave it in because there's a lot of people that this happens to. I want to be honest. I want to share my experience with it. I decided to go to that school to basically be close proximity to her. 1-2 weeks into school, we break up, and I'm freaking devastated, completely crushed. And that's just like basically when everything went to shit. When I went to college, everything went to shit. I'll be honest. But everyone else was like, "Oh, this is the best experience of my life." I was sitting there like, you know, I have good friends. I met a lot of great people at that school that I'm still friends with to this day, and I probably always will be friends with. But that doesn't make me forget the fact of that everything went to shit. You know, for months, for like a year really, I was pretty messed up, and I wasn't trying in my classes really at all. You're allowed to miss like 4 classes. I would miss like 8 classes a semester of every single class. And my plan was like, I'm trying to get a bachelor's degree, which takes 4 years, in 2 years. On top of that. So I want to take extra classes. I want to take school year round. I want to get in. I want to get out. And I thought this was an even better idea just because I didn't like the school. So I was like, okay, I can get in. I can get out. I can do this quick. Let's do it. Let's get in the world. Let's make some money. That was just so naive of me. It was just so foolish. It was such a mistake to think that. I mean, everyone was telling me that it was, you know, a mistake. Why would you want to do that? And I was like, nah, I didn't listen. I didn't listen. You know, as I got a little bit older, I realized that they were right. I'm surprised at myself at how naive I was, to be honest. So I take fall, spring, I take an extra class. I took winter session classes, didn't go home. Summer comes around. This is where it gets interesting. And basically my life was the same every single day. You know, I was working on some side hustles on the side, some other businesses and ideas and stuff like that, because I always am. But it was the same. I would wake up, I'd be emotional, I'd break down, I'd call my parents, literally same exact thing, almost every single day to a T. It was crazy. And when that happens to you, that's when something's wrong. That's when you need to stop, and you need to go, let me figure out what's happening, because this is not what should be happening. I started losing weight, and I was happy about that, even though I was eating just complete shit. And then, you know, I was in my first session, summer classes. Went fine. I started, over the summer I started a company with the other Matt and a couple other partners, which ended up folding, and that whole experience is another video in and of itself. I believe it was like July, I feel like it was July 23rd. About 2 weeks prior, I went home, I was getting a physical, I had to get some blood tests done. I went up to the doctor and I said, I gotta be tested for diabetes. Didn't know what it was really, knew what type 2 diabetes was, knew I was eating a lot of shitty food. It's not a routine test. So 2 weeks later, July 23rd, Saturday morning, got a call about, I was coincidentally home, because remember, I'm taking summer classes, so I was home on Long Island for whatever reason. And we get the call, gotta go to the emergency room, blood sugar levels are 400 something, which is like 4 times, you know, what a normal person's would be. I go in there, they say, look, you're type 1 diabetic. I was in there for like 36 hours. My friends came and visited me. They said, all right, this is how you draw insulin. This is how you take it, and goodbye, basically. Just as I was recovering from the relationship, which, yeah, it took like a year almost, I get hit with this. I was completely devastated. I was, you know, the stages of grief. First you're in denial. I was in denial. I was pissed. Why is this happening to me? This shouldn't happen to me. Anyway, that's a whole nother video about my whole diabetes story. But I went back to school. I decided I was only gonna take 3 classes in the fall. Actually 4 classes. I was doing so bad I had to drop one. I was supposed to take 6. You know, my parents kept insisting me to come home. And the last thing I wanted to do was come home. Like, the last thing I ever wanted to do after I left for college was come home to live there for an extended period of time besides breaks. Maybe it was my ego, my pride, maybe it was just that I was naive, I don't know. I want to leave and never look back, basically. But that can't always happen. I decided that I was gonna move back home. Hardest decision I've ever made in my life. Because I did not want to do it. Did not want to hear it, did not want to do it. Mom, I don't want to hear that, don't talk to me. I decided that it was best for me, and even though it was a harder decision, usually the harder decision is the right decision, and most people don't do the harder decision, and that's why most people make mistakes. And I moved home and I said, listen, I gotta make these changes. They're not gonna happen on their own. I took the diabetes, I took all that pent up emotion. I said, I gotta make a change, and I gotta make a big one, and I gotta start living this way, and every time I'm unsatisfied, I gotta make these changes immediately and work to be better and work to be stronger and work to be smarter. I moved home. I decided that I was gonna take the spring semester off. I got offered this opportunity to come down to Florida and work an internship where I am right now. I tell everybody this, and usually they don't believe me, but coming down here, taking that semester off was the best decision that I've ever made in my life. Because I needed it. Because I wished at the time that I didn't need it. Because my pride, oh, what are people gonna think of me? Oh, it's extra work. I gotta stop school and I gotta come down and move and relocate. It doesn't matter, because it's the right decision. So all the work, the extra effort that you have to do, it's worth it, because you're gonna be way better off than you were if you just kept doing the same thing, kept doing the easy thing, kept taking the path of least resistance. No, you gotta take the path of most resistance. So anyway, once I moved home, I decided immediately, you know what? I can't do it. I want to transfer. Screw that whole 2-year graduation plan. I'll take 4 years like everybody else. And I had a year, by the way, I was up 1 year in credits. That's how hard I worked for it. Over a year credits. And that's why I was allowed, I could only take 3 classes in the fall and take the spring off, and I'm still ahead. Because I worked so hard in the past that it allowed me the opportunity. I'm very fortunate that I could do this. So I decided that I'm going to transfer in the fall. I already applied to schools. I already know where I'm going. I'm not going to say anything yet, but I do already know where I'm going. That'll be a whole separate video. And no, it's not an easy thing. It's the difficult thing. The easy thing is staying where you are. The easiest thing to do is do nothing, and that's what most people choose to do. So I decided to transfer to a new school in the fall. Guys, if you want to do something, this is cliche, you hear it all the time, fucking do it. The only person that's stopping you from doing it is you. That's great that you're the person that's in the way, because you can control it, man. You could make that change, you could do whatever you want. And that's the greatest thing, is that you control your happiness, you control your destiny, you control literally everything. So next time that you want to blame somebody for something else, before you let that come out of your mouth, stop and think to yourself, it's nobody's fault except my own. And don't feel bad for yourself about it. Say, you know what? I'm owning up to my mistakes, and I'm learning, and I'm moving on. If you're in a school and you're unhappy with it, transfer. Don't debate it. Don't think the pros and the cons. Oh, I have to apply. It's extra work. Oh, but I won't know anybody. I have to start over. You already know that that's the right decision for you because you're already thinking it. Because you already want to do it. And now all you're doing is you're chipping away at what you really want to do with these doubts. And the only doubts are, oh, it's more difficult. It's extra work. Are you fucking kidding me? Of course it's extra work, because the right things are extra work. The things that are worth doing take more time. It's that simple, guys. If you're in a job and you're unhappy, leave. Don't think about it. Because if you want something more than where you're at bad enough, you can reach it and you will reach it. It's just about acting and not talking. Because there's a whole lot of talking and there's no action being taken. And it's just a bunch of people basically complaining. And I used to be one of those people. I'll be honest, that used to be me. Just talk and talk and talk and talk and like, okay, that sounds great, let's do it. Oh, but this, that, and the other thing. We're not trying to live lives of what if and maybes. We're trying to live lives of Veni Vidi Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. And then on to the next one. On to the next one. That's what it's about. I can't stress strong enough that if you're in a situation that you're not happy with, then you already know what you need to do. So what are you thinking about? Get out there, make that change, do it today. If you're not strong enough to do it today, and you say you're gonna do it tomorrow, you're never gonna do it. That's all I could say. That's my college experience. Not good so far. I'm really excited to be going to a different school in the fall. You gotta make that change, even if it's difficult. Go out there, make that change, do what you need to do, because you already know. You already know what you need to do. Anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. Please share it with anybody that's making a college decision, because let me tell you something. There's a lot of people that make the same mistake that I made, which is letting somebody else influence your decision. You gotta worry about yourself. You gotta put yourself first, because when you put yourself first, all the good things, all the things that are supposed to happen, they will happen. But you need to worry about yourself and put yourself in that position. So please share the video. Also, please hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Give the video a thumbs up. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, if you could relate to this video or want to tell about your experience, please comment them down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching AverageDudeTV, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe, turn post notifications on, like, and comment. We appreciate the support and hope you check out our other videos.